Hi, I am Wari and welcome to TFG. In case you're new, let me explain real fast what this is about because it's important, I think. This modpack makes Minecraft realistic. Take something interesting as an example, like, I don't know, exploring. In Manila, there are the Litras, the Happy Gas, the Spear. You get the concept of the fantasy within Minecraft, right? Meanwhile, in TFG, you can instead make a plane, building one piece at a time from the smaller screw to the runway itself. And today we are going to make iron. There is a whole Wikipedia article for it if you wanna read it. Now, let's get to work. This is the workshop. As we mine, we have to keep making supports, and we can do that just with some logs. And also, any support will do the trick, and we can use them like that, and we can therefore just keep on the digging. In that direction, if you look at the map, you will see that in that direction we have the cliff. In fact, I can go outside and show you. Yeah, this is the cliff, and I really don't wanna break that, at least not as for now. Maybe by the time that we get glass, we can make a window of sorts, but as for now, that will be sealed for good. The new workshop is going to be a bit lower than the previous workshop, and therefore we have to mine the floor as well, maybe like 5 levels or something like that. After reading a comment on what I think was the 4th episode, give or take, I installed Distant Horizons and I left the game running on its own while Distant Horizons was doing its thing, and I don't wanna bother you with the technical details of it, but basically with the age we can actually see real far into the distance without risking or without losing any performance compared to not using the mod, basically. Although the details are not that defined. For example, you can see that the snow is a bit baggy, you can say, a bit weird. I do have to fix that. That over there, that border there, is the limit of what we have not explored. If we go to the map, you can see that it is Shadow of War from Age of Empires is that line over there. Man, I have so much fucking trash. I am also going to start preparing lots of jute fiber by soaking jute on water. You know, funny enough, I need a new axe, and I literally destroyed the forge that we were using. So, yeah. And now I am going to use the axe to turn all the logs into... Wait, what? I made a new axe thinking that I need it for the logs, and I didn't remember that we actually have to use the saw for converting logs into sequoia lumber. In any case, using the lumber, we can make planks. Using the planks, we can make frame blocks. And then we can use the frame blocks like this, because the frame blocks don't have any gravity to them. They act like planks, basically, but they have an advantage, and that is the fact that we can pick up any block that we want from the entire mod pack, like for example gravel, and we can use gravel, or again, any block that we want, to texture the frame blocks. Therefore, we have a block of any texture without the downside of having gravity to it. We have to cover the walls in frame blocks as well, which consists in putting this weird thingy with a support. For the ramp that goes from the workshop to the base, I am thinking on using this. Let me get rid of these blocks around here, like that. Then we put another ramp right here. Then stone, then another ramp. Man, ramps are so fucking hard to put in. That's what I said to your mom last night. And as I edit this video, I have came to the conclusion that you probably don't know what's going on. My ADHD, pardon my French, while proven of extremely usefulness in a fight against an opponent with dementia, also means that I tend to be driven into side quests of no value or logic. Knowing that, I feel like you want to know my reasons, albeit blunt, for my actions during this video. My plan is to make iron, and because that is going to take several steps, machines, and finally space, I am going to make the workshop bigger and nice to look at. At the same time, and driven by a brain capable of doing the same thing for more than 5 seconds, I am preparing leather as the video goes by. And now that you know what's going on, I presume it will take around 5 seconds for me to lose absolutely all track of any plan that I had or that I mentioned. Okay, the jute fiber is ready, and to process the fiber, we need a loom. And then one single stick like that, and here we have a spruce loom. We can take the fiber and put the fiber on the loom. This way, we are actually making, we are making a burlap cloth. I brought 3 barrels and I filled them with water. There goes the sequoia, and I am using the other barrel for making light water. I think we can take the path from the house to the bees that we built in the last episode. This is the end of the road, and if we take this tunnel, we are going to end up by the bees. So we are going to take the left, right? Because my heart is to the left. See, yeah, this is left. This is left, bro. This is left. Okay, here we are. This is chalk. I am going to start getting this right away, but we are not going to get this chalk in particular. We are going to convert this into smooth chalk. I got all of this smooth chalk, and I am going to use it to cover up the walls. The way back home is gonna... Ah! I am covering the floor with a new texture. This is gonna take a while, obviously, and I will probably have to go pick up even more smooth chalk, and in the meantime, the hide is already soaked. This means that all the proteins and the fat and things like that it used to have, all of that is loose because of the lime water. Using a knife, we scrub the hide from all the things that it doesn't need, like this. Now we got scrapped hide that we can take and we can put... I don't remember if it was in the water or... Yes, we put the scrapped hide in the water. That way we are actually getting to the next step. So I will do this and I will go back to the hide in a moment. I want to put this place really nice. There is a bug every time I put something down, by the way. We also need to make a hole on the roof to prepare the chimney for the forge. Oh, we have to be very careful here because we are low on health and we could end up dying, but we survived just by a bit. Something funny is that you cannot use normal coal for making the forge, so you actually need, for a matter of a fact, you actually need a charcoal. The prepared hide is ready, and now we only need to put the hide in a tanning to finally make a leather, which is going to unlock a lot of things. Well, that was close. We have 33 points of health. Man, but look, we got enough coal to replace all the tools. Regarding the leather, we actually have some already here. Look at that! Turning flax into flax fiber is much better, or at least much engaging than doing the same for jute. Although it is a bit slower, because you have to go one piece at a time, just scraping them like we did with the leather before. We can make armor following the recipe up here that I put in the favorite, and we can craft the thing that I've been wishing for the whole episode. The beekeeper. uniform. Man, I look silly as fuck. Obviously, we need to craft the rest of the beekeeper uniform, which is we have all the materials for it, so that's not a problem. And now we put this on, and look at that. Man, aren't we silly? And now let's head to the place where we are storing the bees, because we have some things to do. I mean, we have a beekeeper uniform on, like you probably know what we are going to do. I am going to look for the bees that have an attribute called a crop affinity. As you can see, some of them do have crop affinity and others don't. And all the frames with crop affinity, we are going to put them in one single beehive. We are going to leave one of the frames free for one of the bees to spawn in, because they are going to reproduce using the trait that they already have. We are going to get a better crop affinity, like for example crop affinity 4. And we are going to do the same for all the other beehives that we have around, so to get the best possible crop affinity. By the way, we are not dying right now because we have the beekeeper uniform. The process of making iron is quite long, and for it we are going to need machines that are going to help us with the brute part of it, so to speak. Post-recording Warrior is now stepping in to explain the following actions, as the Warrior that recorded this did so at the banger of a moment called 2 AM. Having reached this moment, the workshop expansion was ready and the bee situation was more or less resolved, albeit there was a task ahead. It was, therefore, the time of making the machines that I promised. We needed the animalgram, the engine, if you will, of whatever factory my 2 AM brain was imagining at the moment. Said engine, a glorified way of calling a thingy moved by a horse, shall move 3 machines that were going to alleviate the worst tasks of the Iron Age that I was going to get into as I was at the moment in the Bronze Age. At the time of recording this, the dangerous individual, lacking in sleep that I am at 2 AM, had a hard time commenting on whatever was happening, because the recipes for the machines are everything but simple. In fact, at some point during this banger of a recording session, I started counting in Spanish. This was my first time making love with Greek tech recipes, and I didn't enjoy it. Because I don't wanna bore you, I am giving you an example. To make a half hammer, we needed, among other things, a bronze frame and a cogwheel. The cogwheel is, on its own, horrible to make, but I want to put your eyes on the bronze frame. To make one, we needed a wrench. For this wonderful tool that your dad holds whenever something is moving at night in the living room, we needed to blacksmith 3 different pieces, and sometimes for these simple things we needed to weld an ingot, or to turn it into a plate, or to make it dance la Macarena and to overthrow the US government. But finally I got whatever resemblance of a factory I was aiming for, and both now and then I am quite proud of myself, and of you for getting this far into the video. Originally, I was going to make like 3 of them, like all of them, except for this one, but I ended up embracing the grinding and just crafting all of them. But as for now, this is obviously not ready because we have to put this in movement, and I want to go back to the base to put the final touch. I don't really know if they are like ready for what we want to do. And they should be, because I am right now loading the chunks for them. Beekeeper boots, boots now, pants, and the chest plate. And now let me check if they actually reproduced a crop affinity 3, crop affinity 4. We got crop affinity 4. You cannot see my face, but I am happy right now. Instead of taking crop affinity 4, I am going to take crop affinity 3. Yeah, I'm going to take like the worst crop affinity for each beehive. Basically, I right-clicked on the frames to clean them up from bees, so they are free for more bees to live in. To make candles, we need a tool that is not related to the candle at all, but it is going to take part on the making of side candle. And then we can use this tool with flax line fiber, if I am not mistaken, I think it will. Yeah. That way we can make a thread, and combining thread, which with I think was, where is the crafting bench? And down here, combining thread with the beeswax, we can make candles. Now the candles are quite different from the torches, because while the torches only last for around 3 days, the candle will last for, actually I don't know, I want to see that with you. The candles will last for, I have to light them up, for 1 month and 2 days, and I'm going to replace all the torches that we have with candles. Now, the reason why I brought you to the farm is not because I wanted you to see my pretty candles, but because we can use the bees to our advantage. I am going to fill this beehive with bee frames. If you come here to one of the blocks of soil, you can read that it has different nutrients. It has nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Different crops are going to consume one or the other. If the soil has lots of nitrogen, then the crop is going to grow faster. And the bees, these fellas right here, that they are not right now sleeping because it is really late, although they are sleeping, they are going to increment not only the nitrogen but also the phosphorus and the potassium. And the more crop affinity they have, the higher the ability is, the more they are going to help. These machines, they need a heart. They need something to power them up, because right now they are just machines. Obviously, we don't have any electricity, we don't have any steam either. The only source of power that we have and that we know we can trust is animal power. You're going to be my Robin, and I'm going to be Batman, and only good things are going to happen to you. Look, you have to work for me, alright? You have to work for me, but like only till I have like, come on, like I have till I have war meals, right? Once I have war meals, I'll give you a loan, alright? I will give you a loan, and then I will build like a field for you. You know, I am asking myself, why not making a saddle for this fella, as we need horses anyways to move faster in the future. So I don't know. I think that will have been a good idea, you know. Like, but I don't have good ideas. Well, I do have good ideas, but not like the type of idea that, you know, that gives me money and saves me time. Okay, I put the horse then, and now we have to prepare the soil for him. He's going places. Look at him go. Now, the horse is giving power to the animal crank, but then we have to somehow take that power and move it to the machines that we have there. The machines are not going to, you know, to be there. We are going to put here, or we are going to put them here, but still we have to take the power from the animal crank to the machines here. To move the power from the animal crank to the machines that we are going to have here, we are going to use a basic cogwheel. This is going to spin with the help of the animal crank, and then we move the power up with a shaft like this. And then we do this once more, and then up there we put a large basic cogwheel. Then we put the saw on top, and that way we make a small wood gear. Then we combine the wood gear with a basic shaft like that, and that way we make a basic cogwheel. Then we combine the cogwheel with another wood gear, and this is a large basic cogwheel. Now I am going to transfer the power from this axis to this one. Okay, and now I put a shaft here, and now let me arrange the cogwheels so they are powering a machine right here. We are moving the power down, starting from the animal crank all the way like this. And now I'm going to put this, I don't really remember the correct, like, okay, so I think I need to put this from here. And man, we have our first machine. I wanna see the machine working. Like that. Now let me throw the ingot into the hammer and let me take the and look at that. It is slowly working. And now I am going to connect the rest of the machines that we are going to be using. Around this point is that I realized with my eyes watered, I didn't need slabs to stop a creeper from blowing up my machines, for the simple reason that creepers, and of course any other hostile mob, cannot spawn in players made blocks, as in frame blocks, the thing that base is made out of. Drowning in ignorance, I wasted lots of time, but because that time would have been wasted anyways in, for example, crying, I decided to look in and finish the workshop according to almost all definitions of the word finish. That included, but was not limited, to make a normal floor, place trapdoors with candles beneath so they are not in the way, and texture all the frame blocks. We need to weld these ingots together to make double black bronze ingot, but instead of using the forge that, we usually do that, we are going to use the machines for the first time. So let me take some coal from here. There you go. And here I am going to draw the black bronze. There you go. And this as well. And we got, if you read on the top, there is a black bronze double ingot on the basin. And we don't really have to be here on the watch. We can just go to do something else. That's the advantage of having machinery, that we are free to do anything else. Although I don't think I have something else to do. No, I do have something else to do. We are going to work with iron, and because of that, we are going to turn all the normal ore that we have into crushed ore. And normally we will use the quern to convert this into crushed ore, but now we can use this thing here. So, I think 64 is like the limit. Yeah, it is the limit basically, but look at that. You can read on the top that it is turning the rich magnetite into crushed magnetite ore. And with the double black bronze and the black bronze double ingots, we can put them here, and the hammer, the half hammer, is going to turn them into something special. Because we don't have to babysit the machines, I can go do something else. In this case, I am going to collect a lot of wood that we are going to need to make charcoal. Yep, and look at that, we got a black bronze plate after using the half hammer to, you can say, crush the double ingot. By this point, my Insomnia second personality, in charge of, among other things, play TFG, was almost done shaping, blacksmithing, and collecting the materials for the bottom of the bloomery, a multi-block used to make iron and opening lots of possibilities. And while I consider the chemistry within interesting, I think things are getting out of hand in terms of complexity. For all that matters, the bloomery is our objective, and for the bloomery we shall die. And while the bloomery was, in that regard, almost ready, I was lacking the bloomery itself, as in the structure. I'm speeding most of the process of getting that because none of my attempts to make the pace somewhat watchable worked out. With that said, it's a pleasure for me to present you with a pillar of our industry moving on, the plumbery, lacking only one thing, the bottom. And with that, we have the last pieces of black bronze that we need for the bloomery. This is finishing its job. There you are. Now we put this here. Look at that. Now we take all of this like that. Tan 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 tan. Now we put this here like this. Perfect. It is done. It is absolutely done. Now let's make iron. Well, something is going to end up badly because it always happens, but let's try that not to be the case today. Okay, the bloomery can take up to 48, meaning that we can draw 24 pieces of iron, that being, I suppose, 12 ingots, and we can throw as well, or we have to throw for that matter, the same amount of charcoal. Please, okay, that's the pile as of right now. I think that's okay. Now we have to make this work. Please work. It has to be closed. Please work. Oh, we are making Iron! Guys, we are making iron! Okay, by the way, the smoke is going to literally kill us because there is no pen there. We are going to die before the iron is done, but that's okay because maybe we are going to see some funny things once the fumes are up our nostrils. I have a question right now. Can I convert the crushed magnetic ore into dust using the milestone? It is inside, as of right now. You can read on the top, yeah, we can use the milestone to convert this into impure pile of magnetic dust. This is, as of right now, cold enough, so I'm going to pick it up. Now, this is obviously unrefined, and we have to work with this on the forge to convert it into a useful iron, but we have the health hammer for that, so I'm just going to throw all of it into the health hammer, and the health hammer is going to do the work for us. And that was the first hammering, and from that we got refined iron bloom. This has to be processed yet again to make the actual iron. There it is, and now we are, this time for real, making iron. It's right now 2 AM, but I've been waiting for the iron, and here it is. Okay, it's working. We got the rock iron double ingot. I throw 60 pieces of iron blooms to the health hammer for it to just work on the background. Oh, this is amazing. Let me put this down. Look at that. We got iron. Let's make a tool. It's really late, but I wanna make a tool. Our first iron tool. Minus 15. 7, 2. There it is. Iron knife. And it has how much durability? Well, we have to make the actual knife. Well, there it is. Oh, I almost died. No, that was cinema right there. Okay, and I am really far from the house because I actually destroyed the bed. So, yeah, you can see me there, right? Yeah, I'm going to say goodbye like this. We got iron. Right, we got iron, and that is enough for me. I am really tired. Thanks for coming, and I'm going to make lots of iron tools because I'm happy. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.